Welcome friends to another video, welcome to another review. This time around a sample-based review. I'm going to talk about the house of Meleg Perfumes, and today I'm going to talk about Mushin Japanese incense. This is a very interesting fragrance. It came to the market in 2020. The nose behind this fragrance is Matthew Meleg, which is the founder and also the perfumier of this house, based in Canada, in Vancouver. This is a self-taught perfumier, and I highly recommend you to give it a chance, because this guy really knows his stuff. His creations are simply amazing, and in a world of fragrances that look alike and smell alike nowadays, in a world of flankers, in a world of, let's say, reinterpreted old recipes, in a world of, I don't know, huge lack of originality, especially in the niche category, this house and its creations are simply a breath of fresh air. I'm going to talk about Mushin, which is a very interesting fragrance, a very spiritual fragrance if you want. This is a fragrance for those of you who love incense or notes that manage to come out as incense, like Olibano, for example, or frankincense for that matter. This is a fragrance that's going to take you in a spiritual trip. It's a fragrance that's very cozy, very personal, very elegant, very sophisticated at the same time. And it's a fragrance that contains 90% of natural ingredients. So let's talk about this composition, because we have in the top notes apricot and osmanthus. In the heart of this fragrance we have cinnamon, hinoki wood and incense accord. And in the base notes we have sandalwood and agarwood. So quite a simplistic composition, but every single ingredient is high quality, and the end result is simply amazing. You're gonna get in the opening a huge blast of apricot combined with osmanthus, but the apricot in this one is actually fleeting. It's actually gone very quickly from the opening, and it's gonna reappear in the base notes. And I do love this type of creations where notes play this game of hide and seek, if you want. And this is the case with the apricot note found in Mushin. You also have the osmanthus, a very beautiful floral note. But from behind comes, if you want, the main accords, basically the combination between the hinoki wood, the sandalwood, the agarwood, and with that beautiful incense accord. You don't have a regular, if you want, incense note inside this one. You just have a feeling of incense. It's basically like a cloud enveloping the whole woody composition. And the main ingredient in this one, at least in the hard note for me, is actually the agarwood, which is quite animalic, if you ask me, or at least this is how it behaves on my skin. A animalic type of wood, very nice smelling, but animalic nonetheless, accompanied by a very beautiful creamy sandalwood and also by that beautiful Japanese hinoki wood. Everything is enveloped, as I said, with that beautiful incense accord. It's like a cloud, if you want, a very airy cloud. But this is what's happening in the heart of this fragrance, because in the base, the apricot reappears, also the osmanthus intensifies, that agarwood tones down, and the sandalwood and the hinoki wood combine together in giving one of the most beautiful woody, incensey accords that I ever smelled. And the dry down of this fragrance is actually something to die for. It's so nice smelling, so beautiful blended, so elegant, so refined, and so soothing, calming, meditative, I would say, actually. Because this is the exact same feeling that I get every single time that I wear this fragrance. A meditative state of mind, something that's very spiritual, because you have that incense, and it immediately almost takes you to an imagery with a church, for example, because I live in Europe, but if you live on a different continent, I don't know, you'll get an image with a temple, for example, and it's simply beautiful. A very beautiful fragrance. It isn't everyone's cup of tea, that's for sure. You really need to love incense, and you really need to love woody accords in your fragrances. I do love how the apricot and actually even the osmanthus note manages to play hide and seek in this composition. I don't know if this was Matthew's intentions from the beginning, but I do love the creativity in this one. Also, I love that beautiful sandalwood combined with the hinoki wood, which is simply amazing. My only gripe with this fragrance is actually that agarwood note, which I would have preferred it to be less animalic, but what can I say? It isn't very disturbing to my senses, so I can tolerate it. In terms of performance, this is a very good fragrance and it stays quite a long time on my skin. So I get very good longevity, I get very good projection, and also I get great sillage. In terms of how and when to wear it, I would say that this is rather a personal type of fragrance, a fragrance that you enjoy on yourself. But if you were to wear it somewhere, I would highly encourage you to wear it on formal occasions and dressed up. This isn't your regular or typical casual, semi-formal type of fragrance, mainly because it exudes a lot of high quality. It exudes a lot of refinement at the same time. A very beautiful, manly fragrance, because I see this one being worn with a lot more success by men than women. But if you are a woman, as always, I highly encourage you to try it out to see if you like it, and why not, to enjoy it and purchase a full bottle. If you know the pricing and everything else about Matthew Meleg's creations, I highly encourage you to take a look at this company's website, which is melegperfumes.com. You're going to see there all his creations. It's a pricey company if you want. These are pricey compositions, but this isn't your typical regular niche fragrance. This is something completely different than what it's offered nowadays in terms of niche fragrances. This is basically indie fragrance making. This man, Matthew Meleg, creates his own fragrances. As I said, he's a self-taught parfumier, and he emphasizes high-quality ingredients and high-quality blending in his creations. My favorite so far from all the 10 samples that I received from him is the Canadian Gentleman, which is simply amazing. Golden Guy, it's another beautiful fragrance. You also have Temple of Horus. You also have Birch Tar and this Mushin, Japanese incense, only to name a few of his creations, which are truly, truly masterpieces. In my honest opinion, in today's environment, if you want, this house is probably the most underrated and unknown niche house, and it deserves a lot of credit. And Matthew deserves a lot of credit for his work, and his compositions deserve to be known by crackheads. I'm going to stop here. This is Mushin Japanese incense from the house of Meleg Perfumes. I highly encourage you to give this house a try. I highly encourage you to purchase samples, to test their creations, to see what works for you, how it works for you in terms of, let's say, performance, in terms of the note that you're going to get on your skin, and only afterwards go ahead and purchase a full bottle. Thank you as always. I'm going to see you in the next one. Be safe, be good. Remember, smell good, feel good.